guys, this is Kayla.
This is Becky, and we're with a couple of Bees Read.
Yes, and we love to do our guesses for what our favorite book boxes will contain each month.
Of course, we dearly love Aardvark. Yes. They have the best customer service anywhere. They're so wonderful, and I just love their books. So what have we got coming up that you're thinking about?
The one that has already been strongly hinted at on their Instagram, like I'm sure this one will be there, is Death of the Author by
Death of the Author. I know an author. I don't want authors to die.
But it's by Nnedi Okorafor. It is supposed to be more of a science fiction novel, which is interesting. I don't know that they've done as many science fiction novels lately.
No.
So I'm excited. Disabled, disinclined to marry, and more interested in writing than a lucrative career in medicine or law, Zelu has always felt like the outcast of her large Nigerian family. Then her life is upended when, in the middle of her sister's lavish Caribbean wedding, she's unceremoniously fired from her university job, and to add insult to injury, her novel is rejected by yet another publisher. I feel her pain.
Yes.
I do. About to go back on submission. With her career and dreams crushed in one fell swoop, she decides to write something just for herself. What comes out is nothing like the quiet literary novels that have so far peppered her unremarkable career. It's a far future epic where androids and AI wage war in the grown-over ruins of human civilization. She calls it Rusted Robots. When Zelu finds the courage to share her strange novel, she does not realize she's about to embark on a life-altering journey, one that will catapult her into literary stardom, but also perhaps obliterate everything her book was meant to be. From Chicago to Lagos to the far reaches of space, Zelu's novel will change the future, not only for humanity, but for the robots who come next.
Wow.
So,
that's interesting.
Like, maybe dystopian. I've never read a more intriguing book summary, because I feel like even after reading it, I'm like, I don't know what's happening, which is why I had to read the whole thing.
Yes. Well, the Snowbirds, Christina, Clancy.
And we also recommended this last week for Book of the Month.
For Book of the Month, but it could go either way.
And it looks like an Aardvark cover.
It really does. The cover is beautiful. And Kim and Grant, they're at this turning point. They're a couple. They've been a couple for 30 years, and they're separate, but they're together. And this is all about, them coming together. And he's taught philosophy, and they have twin girls, but they're gone, and they're just trying to find themselves. So what's going to happen next? Grant goes on a hike, and he ends up missing, and so then Kim is like, oh my goodness, what is happening? And is he dead? Is he lost? Is he left her? What's going on? She doesn't know. And so this is a book that whichever one has this, I will probably get this, because it's definitely sounds right up my alley. So
I also found a book, First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. Aiden Valentine has a secret. He's fallen out of love with love, and as the host of Baltimore's romance hotline, that's a bit of a problem. But when a young girl calls into the station asking for dating advice for her mom, the interview goes viral, thrusting Aiden and Heartstrings into the limelight. Lucy Stone thought she was doing just fine. She has a good job, incredible family, and smart, slightly devious kid. But when all of Baltimore is suddenly scrutinizing her love life, or lack thereof, she begins to question if she's as happy as she believed. Maybe a little more romance wouldn't be such a bad thing. Yeah. So I just thought it was a really cute take on a romance story, and they tend to do those cute, quirkier romances. And I know everybody's wondering if we're going to talk about the new Allie Hazelwood novel. I did not include it on this list because they tend to get her supernatural romance.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not here. But I did feel like this sounded a little more like something she would write, and therefore something they would carry.
Yeah. Okay, next up we have the Victorian Psycho. You want to talk about this one? This sounds like your alley more than mine.
Victorian Psycho by Virginia Feito. And I do believe this is a horror novel, but I've also seen it listed as a thriller. Grimworld's England, Winifred Nnedi arrives at Inzer House prepared to play the perfect governess. She'll dutifully tutor her charges. Drusilla and Andrew tell them bedtime stories and only joke about eating children. But long, listless days spent within the estate's dreary confines come with an intimate knowledge of the perversions and pathetic preoccupations of the Pounds family. Mr. Pounds can't keep his eyes off Winifred's chest, and Mrs. Pounds takes a sickly pleasure in punishing Winifred for her husband's wandering gaze. So, really, when I read about this one, I was like, this is Turn of a Screw, this is Jane Eyre, but told with a little bit of humor and a little bit more darkness. Because here's how it ends up. Patience. Winifred must have patience, for Christmas is coming and she has very special gifts planned for the dear souls of Inzer House. The description itself is so sardonic and funny, and I just want to know what happens.
Well, you can read it and tell me,
I
because
will read
that
it and tell
is
you.
not. And the cover of this one is just, I don't know.
Hungerstone by Kat Dunn.
Yeah, it's very old world looking.
Well, it reminded me of the book that Aardvark carried before called The Swede.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew it looked.
And when I saw it, I was like, even without reading the description, it got on this list because I was like, that looks like The Swede.
Yeah. It's the height of the Industrial Revolution, and 10 years into Lenore's marriage to steel magnate Henry, their relationship has gone south. When Henry's ambitions take them to London, to the remote British moorlands, to host a hunting party, a shocking carriage accident brings the mysterious Carmilla into their lives. Carmilla, who is weak and pale during the day, but vibrant at night. Carmilla, who stirs up something deep within Lenore, and before long, girls from the local village fall sick, consumed by a terrible hunger. As the day of the hunt draws near, Lenore begins to unravel, questioning the role she's been playing all of these years. Torn between regaining her husband's affection and the cravings Carmilla has awakened, soon Lenore will uncover a darkness in her own household that will place her at terrible risk.
So this is based on Carmilla, a retelling of Carmilla, which is the original vampire
I was
story.
fixing to say, it has to be a vampire.
Yeah, Carmilla actually came out before Dracula. And it's a female vampire. But Lenore was not the other character, if I'm not mistaken. Lenore, that name actually, if I'm not mistaken, comes from an Edgar Allan Poe poem.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Yeah.
I'm just super excited. It sounds like a mashup of two gothic greats.
And I have to get that one, even though I'm looking at it and going, nah, but then maybe.
Carmilla, there was another Carmilla retelling that came out last year, but it was more YA. I remember it because I got it for one of my students because I accidentally made her obsessed with Carmilla by telling her it was the original vampire story, and she would listen to it on audio because it's actually just a novella. So she would listen to it on audio like every day. Her twin sister was not happy with me. Hi, hey, Sophia.
40-year kiss. Charlie and Vivian parted ways after just 4 years of marriage. Too many problems, too many struggles, even though the love didn't quite die. When Charlie returns to Wisconsin 40 years later, he's not sure what he'll find. He is sure of one thing. He must try to reconnect with Vivian to pick up the broken pieces of their past. But 40 years is a long time. It depends. It depends on how old you are, whether you think 40 years is a long time. It's 40 years of other relationships, building new lives, long-held regrets, mistakes, painful secrets, a brave and triumphant exploration of redemption and sunset triumph. It's a once-in-a-lifetime love story written with dazzling lyricism and remarkable clarity of spirit from a celebrated author that's at the top of his game. It's a literary valentine that promises to be a love story for the ages. And it's February. It's Valentine's month.
And we needed some
This
love.
month of love.
And then this next one is my wishful thinking.
Yeah.
And hopes. Hopes and dreams. None of my book boxes ever carry Lisa Unger. which is a travesty because she's amazing. I actually just talked about her on my Instagram page because she's one I'm really envious of. She can write a long novel that is awesome, but then she can also write a short story that will keep me up at night. Her new book, Close Your Eyes and Count to 10, is coming out. The cover is dazzling, and therefore Aardvark should pick it up because they have the best covers, and I want them. I'll show it.
Okay. That's not as...
When the real game begins, who will make it to the count of 10? Charismatic daredevil and extreme adventurer Maverick Dillon invites you to the ultimate game of hide and seek, but as the players gather on Falco Island, the event quickly spirals into a chilling test of survival. A storm rages as deadly threat stalks the contestants, turning the challenge into something far more sinister than the social media stunt it was intended to be. Lisa Unger can write whatever she wants, and I will read it. She could write about paint drying, and it would somehow be the best thriller written.
Yeah. There you
amazing.
Go. The Dollhouse Academy by Margarita Montimore. Ivy Gordon's living on borrowed time. For the past 18 years, she's been the most famous star at the Dollhouse Academy, the elite boarding school and talent incubator that every aspiring performer dreams of attending. But now, at age 34, she is tired of pretending everything is fine. In secret diary entries, Ivy begins to reveal the truth of her life at the Dollhouse. Strange medical exams, mysterious supplements, something unspeakable that's left Ivy terrified and feeling like a prisoner.
So it's got this dark academia twist going on, but it also says it's got an enormous heart. It's a novel about the complexities of friendship, our desire to be seen and understood, and the true cost of making our dreams a reality.
And there's always a cost for dreams. Yep, that's right.
This was another one I kind of saw and thought you might be interested in. Becky reads a little more romance than I do, but I do feel like this is one I would like
you to. You Between the Lines. Says no one's more surprised than Lee when a prestigious MFA program in North Carolina accepts her. A former sorority girl, Lee's the first to admit she knows more about lyrics of Taylor Swift than T.S. Eliot, and she's never been able to shake the all-style, no-substance feedback her high school crush made in their poetry workshop. So Lee's insecurities become all too real when Will, that same, why is it always the same guy from high school, crush turned nemesis, shows up at an orientation. And now he's William, exactly the kind of writer Leah hates. Complete with his pretentious sweater vest, tattered moleskin, Lee's determined to prove herself and William wrong by landing the program's high coveted fellowship. But Will's dead set on proving himself too, and in a small cohort, they can't keep apart for long. Well.
And then he turns a love poem into their workshop that is definitely about Lee. And that's when we start to see between the lines, right? I got it. Clever title.
Yes, that definitely sounds like a Becky book.
Story.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, this may be the biggest Aardvark book I've ever had, box I've ever had, and if we have these books.
If we have this right, we're very excited.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see.
Let us know what you think of our list. If you've heard any more hints that we missed, I know we are filming this on Sunday, and they usually start dropping more hints the final week before release. So
because that's coming up this week.
Please keep the commentary coming, and we would love to discuss what those hints are, because I am terrible at guessing them.
I gave up.
I guessed the one that was this.
I can't give any of them. They make no sense to me whatsoever. My mind does not work that way.
No, but they're awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys. Bye.